afternoon, and he told me in a phone call, he described his departure as a retirement. He had the time in, and he insists that the events that he doesn't deny are being overblown, that he's had a good relationship with that officer, respects him deeply, and believes that the department had long known that they joked around once in a while about the issue. Jay?
Unthinkable. Mark, let me ask you this. What about the officer who was targeted in this act? What is he saying?
Well, the city's not giving out his name, and the mayor said that he's not speaking, that he has contacted an attorney to represent him in any kind of following procedures on this. And there'll be more on this as the days unfold. We've asked for some more records, and we'll stay on top of it, Jay.
All right, Mark Naymik, live on What's New. Mark, thanks.
Well, this wreckage is all that's left. You'll see it in a moment. After a crash this morning in Maple Heights killed 2 people and severely injured another. Now, police are trying to piece together what happened. January Keaton joins us live now with more. January.
Yeah, Betsy, this one is rough. Police aren't able to say for sure what caused such a horrific crash, but they can say that speed was most certainly a factor. Now, that 911 call came in this morning to Maple Heights police around 10:55. The caller reporting 2 cars were drag racing. One of them lost control and crashed into a pole at the intersection of Broadway and Maple Heights Boulevard. That car was crushed beyond recognition. The other car, reportedly a Mustang, nowhere to be found. The scene made even more heartbreaking this afternoon as family members began showing up and learning the devastating news.
As soon as I looked in the car, I knew it was bad. And it happened just like that. Nobody was moving when I got over there. A few minutes later, somebody was in there moving. But the guy they put in the truck, I knew he was gone.
Maple Heights police say the 3 victims had to be removed from the wreckage with the jaws of life. One life flighted to Metro. The other 2, again, pronounced dead at the scene. Now, as of about 15 minutes ago, I called the Maple Heights police. They said they will not confirm whether this was related to drag racing, although that's what the 911 caller said, as well as that witness you saw there, Mr. Easley. He also said he did see the cars distinctly drag racing prior to this accident. This was broad daylight this morning as well, mind you. They're still working to identify the victims completely and also tell their family members. Meantime, guys, they're still looking for that other car that was reportedly drag racing. It's a Mustang. Maple Heights police say if you know anything or have any information about this crash, to give them a call. Betsy.
Certainly something we'll keep an eye on, too. Thanks so much, January.
Well, now to a developing story breaking late this afternoon. Comedian Bill Cosby was released from prison today after the Pennsylvania State Supreme Court overturned his sexual assault conviction. The court cited prosecutorial mistakes, saying his Fifth Amendment right not to incriminate himself was violated. Cosby was convicted, you'll remember, back in 2018 of drugging and molesting a then Temple University employee. This allegedly occurred in 2004. Cosby was serving a 3 to 10-year sentence. He joined his attorneys for a briefing just moments ago outside his Pennsylvania home.
Mr. Cosby, how does it feel to be home?
Well, he is extremely happy to be home. He looks forward to reuniting with his wife and his children. And obviously, this has been a hard 3 years for this entire family.
Cosby's attorneys obviously speaking on his behalf tonight at 6. We'll hear more from a local rape crisis expert about today's ruling.
Also breaking late this afternoon, we've learned that former U.S. Defense Secretary Donald Rumsfeld has passed away. He became a very public figure while serving under President George W. Bush and directing the U.S. military after the 9/11 terrorist attacks. He launched wars in both Afghanistan and Iraq. Rumsfeld was surrounded by his family in New Mexico when he died. He was 88 years old.
Well, next on your feed at 5, many of you have questions and concerns over the Delta variant we've heard so much about of the coronavirus and whether or not we'll have to wear masks again because of it. The World Health Organization is now calling on everyone, including the vaccinated, to start wearing masks again in an effort to get the variant under control. However, the CDC has not issued any definitive guidelines, And there's a lot of mixed messaging going on, and that's been the case really throughout this pandemic. And when this happens, to clear it all up, we bring in the voice of reason. Our senior health correspondent, Monica Robbins, joins us now.
Good luck
Monica,
with that.
Good afternoon to you. These are big shoes to fill.
Yeah, really.
Okay, so to mask or not to mask, that again is the question.
Yeah, it all depends, honestly. You know, you have to put the WHO's recommendation into context. They're referencing the ongoing outbreak in the world, mainly in places that don't have the same level of vaccinated people that we have here in the States. The CDC, though, basically leaving the guidance up to your local health department, because we know there are some places in Ohio that don't have the same vaccination level as, say, here in Cuyahoga County.
We've always said that local policymakers need to make policies for their local environment. There are areas of this country where about a third of people are vaccinated. They have low vaccination rates. And there are areas that have more disease, that are have more disease in the context of people not being vaccinated.
But she added that each individual should make their own decision about whether or not to wear a mask. If you are vaccinated, but you're in a crowd of strangers, you may feel more comfortable wearing the mask. If you're not vaccinated, then yes, you should continue wearing a mask and social distancing. And according to health experts, in some cases, a low vaccination town that's surrounded by high vaccination areas could end up with the virus contained. However, we might see local outbreaks or clusters. The Ohio Department of Health and county health departments are keeping track of vaccination rates and obviously will issue guidance when necessary. But as for now, really, it's up to each individual.
Right. Well, the Delta variant is the one that we keep hearing the most about right now. What makes this one just so different?
Yeah, it's a sneaky little bugger too, you know, and what we need to know about this Delta variant is that it is far more easily transmitted compared to the Alpha variant, which is currently our dominant mutation. Surveys in the UK, where the Delta variant now makes up about 90% of cases, found that the symptoms appear to be different too. So cough and loss of smell, less common symptoms. Headache, sore throat, fever, and runny nose, more common. Sounds like the common cold too, doesn't it? But early data out of Scotland shows the Delta variant is about twice as likely to put an unvaccinated person in the hospital. So these are the things we really have to take into consideration.
Yeah. It changes every day.
Yep,
it
sure
really
does.
does. And Monica is on top of it. Monica, thank you so much.
Sure.
Still ahead on what's new, a former Disney star in some hot water this afternoon. We have all the details on the latest set of charges against a That's So Raven star.
Plus, honoring a legacy, how Cuyahoga Falls is showing its support for the only Arthur Treachers left in the world.
And Matt Wintz, I've been hearing it for probably the last 30 minutes or so. The rumbles are pretty loud here in Cleveland.
Yeah, they're heading on out, Jay. If you hear any from here on out, it's because I haven't had dinner yet. That's the thing. So I'll try to keep that to a minimum. But you can see the skies, rain still falling across downtown Cleveland. Couple more minutes of this moderate to heavy stuff, then we'll start to gradually dry things out. Your outdoor dining forecast, though, obviously not great to be outdoors as we go throughout the evening hours. Keep it inside. It's still going to be muggy as well. Temperatures in the 70s, but we've got drier air for your 4th of July weekend just in time. I'll share that forecast with you next.
Welcome back to What's New. You know it, I know it, we all do. There's nothing quite like sitting down at your favorite restaurant to enjoy a delicious meal. And for many in Northeast Ohio, that place is Arthur Treacher's. The city of Cuyahoga Falls declared today Arthur Treacher's Day to show their support for the last remaining restaurant in the once powerful chain. Here's 3 News photojournalist Dom Ferrante with what this location means to the community.
This chain has been frying up fish and chips since the 1960s, at one point even having 826 locations. For some, this spot was the place to be.
Arthur Treacher's, it's a cornerstone in a lot of the fast foods, and they're not there.
To celebrate the rich history of the restaurant, Mayor Don Walters declared today as Arthur Treacher's Day in Cuyahoga Falls.
Well, this is a huge deal. I've been here my whole life. I grew up with Arthur Treacher's, and to know that it's the only one in the whole country is amazing.
This coming weeks after the second to last location in Garfield Heights shut their fryers off a few weeks ago.
The last couple of weeks have been a roller coaster. When I closed my Garfield Heights location,
owner Ben Victoria says it's more than just fish and chips to him.
There's a nostalgic feel to Arthur Treacher's. We haven't changed since 1969.
That's 50 years of frying fish for owner Ben Victoria, and he wouldn't mind doing it for another. For years, you couldn't get fish and chips like these anywhere else, but now this is the last location to get it. In Cuyahoga Falls, Dominic Ferrante, 3 News.
All right, Dominic, thanks. Great job. You want to have fun, go to YouTube and look up Arthur Treacher's commercials. It will take you back to the 70s for those of us old enough to remember. They're fun to look at. We're taking our Save Our Sauce initiative to the next level. If you've been watching us over the last 6 months or so, you know we've really put a spotlight on local restaurants. Since many of these restaurants are still suffering from the pandemic, we're now helping connect employers with potential employees. We know that's a huge problem right now. You can submit job openings to the email on your screen. Visit WKYC.com for our growing list of openings. You can also donate to the Ohio Restaurant Relief Fund if you would like to do so.
And this is all in preparation for our Save Our Sauce special. That's coverage that is tomorrow. We're going to look at the past, present, and future of Northeast Ohio eateries. Kind of a big day for us here, certainly. Speaking of big days, man, it is rumbling and bumbling out there. We still have rain going on. Indians are supposed to be playing a doubleheader, but we're going to wait, hope to get one in. A lot of folks have been asking, not so nicely, how that's going to be going for us, and basically we're in a wait-and-see pattern too. But, Matt, the rain has certainly been coming down hot and heavy once again.
Yeah, it definitely has. Question for Jay, our sports expert. Will they play, if they just play one game tonight, will it be 9 innings or 7 innings?
If they play one, it's 9.
It's always 9, no matter doubleheader. Okay.
If they're going to play 2 in the same day, then they're down to 7.
Got it.
You mentioned earlier, if we hear any rumbling, it's not the thunder here in Cleveland, it's your stomach. And then after watching Dom's piece, I'm hungry. So that's your weather word for today.
Great. Yeah,
hungry.
I've already said it 6 times in the Weather Center over the last time. By myself, by the way. Betsy's over there.
Matt is always hungry.
I'm always hungry. Station Vacuum, that's my nickname. All right, let's get to the rain, though, outside. We've got just some heavier rain left. Nothing severe right now. That's the good news. I think we're going to get this day out of here without any more severe weather. We'll keep our eye on our far southeastern counties. This is where our severe weather threat would be from here on out. But just a general rainfall, boy, it is coming down good in buckets in this red area here. When you look at a radar and you see all the reds, you say, that looks nasty. Those must be severe storms. Not the case. Reflectivity just measures how heavy that rain is. Keep that in mind. So that doesn't mean that this has strong winds or hail or anything like that. It is putting down some stronger winds in pockets, now heading out of the Canton area, out towards eastern areas of Stark County. This is a general rainfall. You will have occasional lightning strikes, and because the air is cooled, you get those loud rumblers outside. We've had that across Geauga County, Summit County as well, but nothing severe here, just a general rainfall that eventually head out towards the east. Out towards the west, areas of Huron County, we saw 2 to 4 inches of rain southern half of the county. We've got more light to moderate rain moving in. We're not done with the rain after this first batch, but the heaviest stuff now moving on out. You can see where we've had some of the heavier rainfall. That's where we have flood advisories. But as we get into the day tomorrow, we're eventually going to bring this frontal boundary south. Still hanging on to rainfall chances tomorrow. But the one thing that I think we've all been hungry for has been dry. drier air outside, and that's what we have moving in from the north. Slowly, slowly, slowly. It always happens so slowly this time of year. We get that drier air in here. Look at this by Friday. We're in the comfortable category, and then it'll ramp back up as you'd expected as we start July, but it is just perfect timing for that Independence Day weekend, right? National Design Mart hour-by-hour forecast. I think we'll still have showers tonight. Our model really shriveling up all that rain. I think we'll still have some showers, especially down to the south. Storm chance is gone tonight. Tomorrow, again, that frontal boundary will be in play. Some isolated rain around. I think some rumbles. Temperatures, though, will start to tumble. We're in the 70s tomorrow, and I think we'll clear things out by tomorrow afternoon and evening across our northern counties. Union Home Mortgage 7-day forecast. Look at the temperature dip, 73 on Friday. Burr, bundle up. Get the cardigan out, some spotty showers, and then we've dried things out Saturday, Sunday. We'll keep an eye on that forecast. It does look great for the weekend, but notice how that heat returns next week in true summertime fashion. Betsy?
All right, Matt, thank you so much. We'll check in again with you in a couple minutes. Next for us here on What's New, how does free therapy sound? We'll tell you about Ariana Grande's new mission to help folks who are trying to deal with mental health issues. That's ahead in Pop Break.
Also coming up, we all need to find relief during this ridiculous heat, including bears. We'll tell you where some cubs decided to crash a perfect beach day. It's adorable video, and it is ahead in our Worth the Watch.
Hi, Al. We're still talking. We're sweet. Okay. Singer Ariana Grande is helping those struggling with mental health. Demi Lovato is getting her own talk show, and a former Disney star is facing some serious charges. Here's Kiera Cotton with today's Pop Break.
Former Disney Channel star Kyle Massey has been charged for allegedly sending explicit images to a 13-year-old girl. According to reports, the crimes took place between December 2018 and January of 2019 on the social media platform Snapchat. Officials say the teen's mom handed over a flash drive that allegedly contains videos of the 29-year-old exposing himself and other explicit content that was shared between Massey and the victim. But this isn't the first run-in Massey has had with the teen. In 2019, the victim sued him for $1.5 million for similar allegations. Massey's next hearing is scheduled for July 12th in Washington. And newlywed Ariana Grande is prioritizing mental health. The Position singer announced yesterday that she's partnered with BetterHelp, an organization that provides accessible and affordable counseling to those who need it. In a tweet, she wrote, "Thrilled to be working with BetterHelp to give away $1 million of free therapy." Grande is offering to pay for 1 month of free therapy with the option to continue for a second month with a 15% discount. She posted the link to sign up for the opportunity on Twitter. And Demi Lovato's short-form talk show has a release date. The singer will bring together special guests and experts to discuss an array of topics, including UFOs, mental health, activism, gender identity. Nothing is off limits. The show was previously announced as a Quibi original, but never aired as the streaming service shut down. The Demi Lovato show will premiere July 30th on Roku. As I mentioned, both Demi and Ariana have spoken openly about their mental health, and it really is important. And because BetterHelp saw such a positive response, Jay and Betsy, they doubled the amount that they're offering. So instead of $1 million, they're now offering $2 million. So people can still sign up. So take advantage.
It's going to help so many people.
Absolutely.
I think that's a pretty crafty way to do it, and to have somebody with such, a big image and such gravitas, especially for younger people.
Yeah.
I think that's really cool.
Letting people know it's okay to not be okay, and if you do need help, there's resources.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's changing. Slowly but surely, our outlook on mental wellness is changing, and that's a good thing.
Yeah.
It certainly is. Yeah. Kara, thank you. We appreciate it. All right, now let's go to our Worth the Watch, and it really is a candid family moment for you. It's caught on camera. Not with humans, but with black bears. The pack decided to crash a beach day for folks just chilling at California's Lake Tahoe. About a dozen people just stood by and watched as the mama bear walked around in the sand while her 3 cubs splashed in the cool water. And Bets, when it was all done, they did their little shake. You know what I'm talking about? Like when a dog shakes to get the water off. They did their little shimmy shake, and then they just ran back into the woods.
And I think props to those people for holding still. Now, I don't know if they're holding still from shock and awe, or if they're holding still because they went, that's a bear. It's a mama bear with her cubs.
Yeah.
Even if we move a little bit even backwards, she could take that as a bad response. So,
I think they did the right thing. In that moment, it might be difficult, but they did the right thing. Very cool.
Well, coming up for us here in the next half hour of What's New, Robocall deadline. That's right. We're going to put a little sauce onto that one. We'll explain what phone carriers are being forced to do today and share the moment a TV news anchor got back at a scammer. You are going to love it.
That's what I was laughing about yesterday in one of the commercial breaks. Plus, court conditions. What in the world is going on at Wimbledon? A couple of big-name athletes, including Serena Williams, suffered injuries during back-to-back matches and forced to withdraw. We'll have that story.
And we continue our post-pandemic Wedding Trends series. Lindsey Buckingham shares how some couples are making guests more comfortable during their big day. We'll be right back.
Yeah, I am. Okay.
And now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New.
We begin today with 3 things to know now at 5:30. At least 4 more victims were pulled from the rubble of a collapsed condominium building in South Florida. That brings the death toll to 16, with 147 still missing. No survivors have been pulled from the debris since Thursday, the day of the collapse. Tomorrow, President Biden and First Lady Jill Biden will spend time with rescue teams and families of those still missing.
Number 2, Sheffield Lake Police Chief Anthony Campo resigned after he was caught on camera placing a sign on the back of one of his black police officers' raincoats. The sign read Ku Klux Klan. Sheffield Mayor Dennis Brink told 3 News that Campo also made a cone out of a newspaper and put it on himself and then told the officer he had to wear it. The mayor told Campo to turn in his keys and badge immediately. Meanwhile, Campo claims he wasn't forced out, but that he retired. He also told 3 News' Mark Naymik the incident is being overblown and that it was an inside joke. Mark will have more on this disturbing story tonight at 6.
Well, late this afternoon, comedian Bill Cosby has been released from prison more than 7 years before completing his 10-year sentence. Today, the Pennsylvania State Supreme Court overturned Cosby's sexual assault conviction. The court cited prosecutorial mistakes. In 2018, Cosby was convicted of drugging and molesting a Temple University employee in 2004. And with that, we welcome you back to What's New on this very soggy Wednesday afternoon. I'm Betsy Kling alongside Jay Crawford.
I got to tell you, I was outside this morning shooting a feature story, and within 10 minutes, Betsy, I felt like I had just walked out of a swimming pool. I was drenched.
It's kind of gross, right?
It's really gross.
We're going to start to feel less humid air by the time we hit Friday and into the weekend. The weekend actually got a lot better as far as the forecast goes, so Matt's going to join us.
Matt said something about pulling a cardigan out, right?
Well, we're going to have to wait and see if it's still cardigan. He may pull a cardigan out. The rest of us are probably just going to be like, thank goodness it feels so good.
Yeah, I welcome the cool down, even if it's just for a day or two. It'll be nice. All right, first up at 5:30, we have several top talkers today. We begin with this. As we count down to the 4th of July, there is a new warning about fireworks. Injuries and even deaths spiked during the pandemic. The numbers are pretty alarming for those using fireworks. This all according to a new report from the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission. Here are the numbers. There were 18 fatalities amongst people using fireworks last year. That's compared to just 12 reported in 2019. Over 15,000 people went to the emergency room with fireworks-related injuries last year. Again, up big from just around 10,000 in 2019. That's an increase of 50%. Most burn injuries happen on the hands and the fingers, as you might guess, but also there were plenty of injuries. Folks suffering burns to the head, to their face, as well as their ears. And Betsy, Portland, Oregon just yesterday banned fireworks this year since excessive heat and dry conditions out there can, of course, make setting them off even more dangerous. With all those dry conditions, up goes the risk of forest fires. And I was in Portland Monday, and I got to tell you, when you look around, Bets, the vegetation is all brown. This is a part of the country where you normally don't see this.
Yeah, it was the same story in Utah. As you drive up in the canyons where you normally see beautiful big pine trees and whatnot, they were brown. It looked parched. And that's just 2 areas of what is like a mega drought that's going on in the western United States. So
it's bad.
Lots of fireworks restrictions.
If you are planning to celebrate the 4th with fireworks, please, as you are using them, remember this number: 15,000 people last year had to go to the emergency room due to fireworks injuries. 15,000. Please, please be responsible and be careful.
Yeah, and watch your kids.
Yes.
Those sparklers are brutal. All right, another big talker today, robocalls. This is Jay's favorite story. The FCC says last year alone, Americans received nearly 4 million robocalls per month.
Oh, my.
And today is the federal deadline for phone carriers to put anti-robocall technology into place. It's implemented under the Telephone Robocall Abuse Criminal Enforcement and Deterrence Act. Almost got it out in one breath. That was signed into law in December of 2019. Check out what one TV news anchor did to bust a scammer.
So good.
Yes, we can clear up this matter if you're able to make a payment right now with a debit or credit card of at least $2,500.
Sure. Yeah, I have a card ready now.
Okay, the card has your name on it?
Yes.
All right, and go ahead with the number, please.
It's 3, 2, 1. Good evening. We are live on television right now with an investigation into scam callers. We have the FBI on the line. They are tracking this phone number as we speak. Sir, what is your full name again?
Boom! That is so fantastic. I know.
Oh, that
but
is
to get it
so
on
good.
tape too is one thing, and then you go into like she went all in on the anchor voice too.
She was full Rhonda Burgundy.
Yeah, it was amazing. But boy, I mean, that guy got off that line real quick. I wonder if they scoured her number from their files.
I love that she did that. I believe, Mo, you can tell me in my ear, you went to college with the young reporter. Is that correct? Okay, so our producer of this show knows her well, went to school with her. It was a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
And again, he started the call by saying, I believe he was from the FBI.
Oh, yeah.
So you have to remember that's not how these things go down. So if you do get these calls, it's a scam. And please, if you do get a call like that, record it and toy with them and send it to us. Because we love stuff like that. we were laughing so hard over that yesterday.
It was really fun. And keep in mind, too, the number of robocalls is supposed to be getting less and less starting today and continuing on. But we have some folks who said that they are still getting the robocalls.
Matt said, normally I don't have a problem with robocalls. Yeah. He said he had 3 today, and his wife also had some today.
Sorry.
So as I said yesterday, I'm skeptical that this is going to work. Doesn't look like it's off to a great start.
Hopefully it will.
Hopefully tomorrow will be a better day. All right, our final top talker. Have you seen what's going on at Wimbledon? The court there has caused 2 injuries, forcing big-name players to withdraw. Serena Williams was on her quest to win Wimbledon for her record-tying 24th major title when she had to drop out because she injured her right leg during the first set. When she slipped behind the baseline, her leg got worse as the match went on. She tried to continue, but she couldn't. This is only the 2nd time in Serena's brilliant career that she didn't make it through the first round of a major. There's been controversy over the slickness of the grass court at Wimbledon. The slick surface allows flat-soled tennis shoes to sometimes skid and send players falling to the ground. Before it happened to Serena, it also happened to Adrian Manarino. He slipped, had to drop out of his match against Roger Federer. The All England Club defended the condition of its court, saying each grass court is always checked before the matches. They're signed off on, and they say nothing to see here.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you've ever watched the grass courts, and they deteriorate a lot as the game goes on and the tournament goes on, you can see them. They actually plan, as they're running back and forth, they plan to stop short so they can slide. Yeah. And then they have to kind of go back. It's a lot of wear and tear on your body. And, you know, if you're not used to that, if you're used to a clay court or whatever, it's a completely different game.
And it had been raining, so the courts were wet, making it even more slick. Yep. So that's a story I'm sure we'll be following over the next couple of weeks here. Next on What's New, an actor was spotted in Northeast Ohio this week. Adam Driver was here for filming. We're going to tell you all about the Netflix show in the making coming up in Clicking in Cleveland.
And then, are you planning on going to a wedding soon? Or are you planning a wedding that's coming up soon? If so, this story is for you. We're talking how trends are reshaping post-pandemic weddings. Lindsey Buckingham has that for us. We're also keeping an eye on the forecast, Matt. A lot of rumblings still out there.
Yeah, for sure, Betsy. It's funny. I was literally just getting a phone call just now, and I was like, oh, it's another scam. It was the Indians. They're, looking for an update. We'll give that to them. A lot of people wondering about the Tribe game tonight. We're clearing things out. We're not going to lose the rainfall chances, but we are looking good to at least get that game in. As you can see, things quieting down, but still pretty loud down towards the south. Decent thunderstorms, Carroll, Tuscarawas counties. We'll detail where that goes and talk long-term over the next 7 to 10 days coming up after the break.
Yes.
So this is my post.
Oh, yes. Here's a level. I'm giving Al a level while we're on this Facebook Live, which I voted for, so I approve this.
Okay, that's a great behind-the-scenes look. Your shoes are in your hand right now.
I know.
And
it's very rainy.
There's nothing awkward happening here in the studio right now. Jay is obsessed with these Facebook Lives. He's currently doing number 2 on the 3 What's New Facebook group page. If you haven't joined us there, request will get you in. He's going live right now, and it's very awkward because he's like 3 feet away from my face. Matt, please.
Betsy, I just looked at our insights. We just lost 250 followers. So,
oh,
Jay,
no.
if you could just shut that down for a little bit, buddy.
Sorry.
No, just kidding. We have a great group on there, by the way.
We do.
Those
Lots of
folks
fun.
are a lot of fun. Yeah, just like, you guys in the studio as well. So we've got some rain pushing through. I think everyone's kind of sick of the rain at this point. It's been multiple days of, same old weather pattern. Good news is we're starting to sweep this out. This is really the last day that we're going to have that tropical feel with the showers and thunderstorms. We've got more rain chances tomorrow, but I don't think it'll be nearly the coverage of what we had today. You can see what we're dealing with. Pretty decent cluster moving through. This is now heading outbound from the viewing area, but still have to get it through areas of Carroll County. Carrollton right now seeing the brunt of this. Some lightning, some gusty winds. The strongest wind is now heading outbound. It was over towards the east, and you can see as line kind of heads back down into the Dover, New Philly area. Nothing severe with that. That's the good news. Just some rumblers that'll move through, likely some gusty winds. Our steady rain moves on. It's heading out towards the east. We're clearing Cuyahoga County up. Akron, you'll be clearing out here shortly. Still some rainfall chances from here. Wanted to kind of get meteorological with you, if that's okay. Here's our atmospheric energy. We talk a lot about that, the Cape. Look what these storms have done to our Cape. There goes that atmospheric energy. Atmosphere is pretty tapped out after the last 2 days of storms. That's some good news. So from here on out, not a lot of thunder and lightning, if any. And the other thing I want to show you is precipitable water. This is how much water you can wring out of the atmosphere. Basically, do you get really heavy downpours or just some light to moderate rain? You can see we're still dealing with lots of moisture, but that drier air is moving in. So tomorrow, I think we lose our ability to get those really heavy downpours, and we'll likely just have some scattered rain around. So the bigger picture for that Tribe game, we still have rain off towards the west. Remember, the atmosphere is zapped, so a lot of this starting to shrink in coverage. We'll keep our eye on some of these. I imagine those will fade as they head through the Detroit area. But the bigger picture, I love the water vapor look. You see the movement of all the air masses. This little feature here heading southbound. Boy, that's something we haven't seen in a while. That's our drier air. That's our push that will kind of move everything out. And then a look out over the expansive Atlantic. This is soon to be Tropical Storm Elsa. Yeah, from Frozen. Sure, that's going to get lots of tweets and all sorts of activity. That will likely head towards the Caribbean as we get into the latter half of this week and then especially next week. Locally, though, humidity, whoop, there we go, down in the comfortable category Friday, Saturday. It's back up by Sunday for the 4th of July. Monday, Tuesday, we're back in the humidity as well. But your National Design Mart look ahead. Here are your rainfall chances tomorrow. Eventually, we'll clear that out. This system that brought perhaps some rainfall chances Friday, Saturday looks to be just east of us. So we'll keep an eye on that in the forecast. In terms of the rainfall, these are your latest numbers. We could still use 2 to 5 inches of rain around here. So, let's take a little break. Union Home Mortgage 7-day forecast. Spotty showers over the next couple days. That's it. Saturday, Sunday look dry. There's that heat returning to our forecast. 80s to near 90 degrees next week. So the heat returns after a nice weekend break. Jay, you still on Facebook Live?
Thank you very much. I figured it out. I was Facebooking live. Is that what you call it?
Facebook Live.
Yeah, but I thought I was doing it in the 3 What's New Facebook group page.
You messed it up.
But I messed it up. So whenever I get into these digital jams, I always go to our expert, and that's Stephanie Haney, and she quick hit like 800 buttons on my phone, and just like that, now I'm live in the Facebook group page. Speaking of our great digital friend, Stephanie Haney, she's been tracking what's clicking in Cleveland today. Thank you for your help, by the way.
You're welcome, Jay.
I'd be so lost without you.
We're going to get it shared to the group page. Don't worry, because you guys can't miss it. It was some prime Facebook living. All right, but we will talk about first the celebrity spottings that we saw in Wellington very recently, where the movie White Noise is filming. People are posting pictures of Adam Driver and co-star Greta Gerwig. You see him here in front of Addie's Antiques, and that will show up as Wizard Records in the movie. Now, Driver plays a professor at a liberal arts college where a chemical cloud gets unleashed, and he and his wife, played by Gerwig, have to face it together. Sounds very exciting, and we are glad to have him in town. Hey, maybe while they're here, they'll want to catch 4th of July fireworks, and if so, we have a very comprehensive guide of where to go on WKYC.com. We have all the places to go and the times to be there, plus where to listen to synchronized music from Ashtabula to Summit counties and everywhere in between. And here's what I'd really like to recommend to them, though, our East Cleveland ice cream guide. First up, at King Cone in Chardon, you can get classic cones, but also the Glazed of Glory. This is your choice of ice cream crammed between 2 glazed donuts. They also have something called the No Name. That's ice cream covered with chocolate sauce, caramel, pretzels, cookie dough bites, and Buckeyes. Yes, please. At Kirtland Creamery, it's very kid-friendly. They've got a specialty garbage cans that flavors like dirt and worms, gummy worms, hopefully, of course. And their strawberry cheesecake sundae is filled with ice cream, strawberries, cheesecake bites, and graham cracker crust. And here's one for the grown-ups. At Fairport Harbor Creamery, they have boozy options like the ship-faced milkshake.
With a P.
With a P. They also have Dole Whip alcohol floats, thank you, Betsy, filled with a White Claw or sparkling wine. Ooh. That's just a couple of the options. We have so many more on WKYC.com, and that's just in East Cleveland. We have more locations to come, downtown West Side. Hope Sloop is doing a great job with this. And that Fairport Harbor, great spot for sunsets, you guys.
Ooh,
yes,
interesting.
Beautiful, absolutely. Stephanie, thank you so much. Okay, coming up next, the wedding boom continues post-pandemic, but so do traditions couples followed to adjust to a COVID lifestyle, from seating to food and everything in between. How some trends are shifting out of the norm.
And who remembers the game Candyland? We're going to show you how some assisted living residents had the chance to be a kid again. That's coming up, and show us something good.
I'm undefeated in Candyland.
I can imagine.
I don't know how I even did that. Is it off now? Is it off?
Yes, but I have little
it's
spots
off.
in my eyes. With the country opening back up, calendars are filling up again, and you may have a few wedding invites on the schedule.
I've got one tomorrow.
Do you really? Tomorrow?
Yes. In fact, Mark Lowry, my old producer, his mom is a huge fan. She watches us every day. She loves Betsy Kling.
Oh.
I'll be there. But there's a noticeable shift in how couples are celebrating their big day. As Lindsey Buckingham reports, post-pandemic wedding trends have shifted away from formal and with more emphasis on flexible.
Nice.
Heading to a wedding this summer? You may notice some changes from the last pre-pandemic ceremony you attended. Micro or pop-up weddings were just coming on the scene when everything shut down. Now, they've exploded in popularity for good reason.
I think after a pandemic, everybody's priorities have changed.
Smaller guest lists to make attendees more comfortable and allow more interaction with the loved ones. that matter most.
They just want to focus on what's important at that moment because you never know what could be taken away from you.
Outdoor venues are in greater demand post-COVID, with many already booked through 2023, making for some creative scheduling.
What we've been doing too is doing Friday and Sunday, as well as Thursday weddings to account for that because of the low dates available this year.
And when it comes to food, big portions and buffets are out. Bite size is in, especially when it comes to dessert.
So specifically with weddings, I feel like there's kind of been a break in that traditional all you can have is cake type of mentality.
Shelby Costo of Sweet Costo Bakery says couples may shy away from cake entirely, choosing cupcakes, cookies, or pastries. Sweets packed in a to-go box too.
I'm also doing a couple of weddings where we're doing individual s'mores for each person, and it's a way to truly reflect the couple and what they enjoy eating together versus just, well, you have to have cake because it's a wedding.
People are just excited to party again.
And that's reflected in the invitations, according to Deanna Sukalak of Rose Gold Studios, who is seeing a bigger demand for brighter colors in post-pandemic weddings.
Bright oranges, bright blues, bright purples and greens, and colors that really haven't traditionally been wedding colors. Very vibrant, very full of life, and that is going back to that couple's style and personalities.
Now, bright colors, they're in, but dates are out on things like cocktail napkins, keepsakes, or signage. A lesson from 2020 that your big day can still be beautiful no matter what day it happens. For 3 News, I'm Lindsay Buckingham.
Lindsay, thank you very much. Coming up next on What's New, adding some sweetness to summer, how some local residents had the chance to play a life-sized board game. That's coming up in Show Us Something Good.
Then on What Matters Most at 6, why this weekend's 4th of July holiday cookout may not be as expensive to put together as you may think.
And as we hit the break, here's our pop quiz for the day. 68 years ago today, the very first Chevy Corvette rolled off the line. It was the first plastic laminated fiberglass sports car. Our question is, how much did that car sell for? $2,000, $3,400, $4,100. Think about it. We'll tell you the answer coming up.
68 years ago.
This is Mark out here. It has stopped raining.
Oh, you need this, I guess. Yeah, sorry. Here we go.
Yeah, it stopped raining. I'm happy to finally be in somewhere where it's not raining.
Russ, you got a guess on that first cost of the first Corvette?
Hi, Al. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to go with $3,400.
Mic check, Monica. 1, 2, 3, 4. Mixed messaging has been a problem since the very beginning.
Hold on just a second, baby. Let me grab it. I got you. Am I in another box off the top, boo? Do you know? You haven't? Okay. Oh, I was talking to this boo out here, but no, I can call you boo too, hon. Yeah, we're out here on
All right, here it is, the answer to our quiz question today. We wanted to know how much that first Corvette was worth that rolled off the line 68 years ago. The answer was B, $3,498. In case you're wondering, if you were lucky enough to have one of those first cars that rolled off the line and you had a very early VIN number, they only made 300 of these cars.
Wow.
You could sell it for $750,000.
That's a pretty good return on investment.
Yeah, I'll say.
That's definitely good. Well, I'm going to show you else something that's good. This is going to come to us from Westlake. Devon Oaks Assisted Living Facility was turned into a life-size Candyland game for the residents. Now, you probably remember the iconic board game. You can see how much fun they all had. When they reached the end, they got real candy, because that's how they roll. June is National Candy Month, so they are celebrating that. And I'm sure this makes a definite play for all the years that they probably played Candyland, and now a little new spin on it.
We've all played it. How fun would that be, the life-size version? By the way, June may be Candy Month for you, but so is January for me, and February, and March, and all the way through. We're out of time. Thanks for watching. Back tomorrow at 5, and we hope you join us then.
What Matters Most with Russ starts right now.
Now at 6, police chief fired.
I'm just flabbergasted. There's no one word to explain how disgusting this is.
The longtime police chief of Sheffield Lake is out of a job and off the force after a racist video. Mark Naymik will have the latest. Also, legal bombshells.